All right. So how about the others? How 6B classes? Not yet ended his lecture, it seems, right? So for the time being, I will show you. I just show you this one. The worksheets will continue. How about the others? How about the others?
佢哋六 B 班好似仲上緊中文堂。
嗯，
係啊。
All right。曾經 ，Hey, I need to account. I need to take the attendance now. 蔡仲上，here. 黃家豪、黃俊豪、陳浩希、張家榮，not here. 何展鵬，not here. 林家齊。早晨。好，麥耀南。麥耀南 ，where were you yesterday？ 麥耀南 ，where were you yesterday？
我琴日我阿爸唔俾我出嚟，佢話今日先俾。
Sorry。
佢話琴日話唔知做乜嘢，跟住唔俾我出街，跟住佢話今日先俾我出街。
Oh, you should inform me next time. Rachel have informed me earlier. So today you can come?
應該得。
咩叫應該啫？
唔知啊。
即係得定唔得 ？Just give me.
得。
Yes, just give me a saying.
得。OK。
鄭群威 ，where you? Yeah. 鄭群威 ，are you here? Yeah. And 陳志軒 and 陳文樂 ，all right. Now, 張家榮 ，are you here? Oh, just 張家榮 absent. Okay.
Mr.
Yeah.
J， 要你留咗我嗰個嘅點名喎，好似我聽到好似漏咗。哦，
黃俊熙點咗啦，係黃俊熙點咗。我淨係我 tick 到邊啲 absent 咧，就係張家榮、潘志軒呢兩個，其餘嗰啲全部係 present 嘅。有冇人係冇點名 ？Now, so today's task, right, is to continue the worksheets, but I would like to test you something more challenging. It is on, right? It is on these. Now, last time we stopped at the concentrated exit, and the following the listed one will be the dilute and concentrated exit. Different types of material. Okay. Now, I would like to continue with some of them. Because you are now Chem 2, I will give you something more challenging. Something more challenging before we start. All right, so we start from 24. Yes, that's right. Yeah, okay. I leave the other 8 of them to Chem 1 students. For Chem 2 students, I will give you more challenging work today. What is it about? Question 24. Now, suppose you'll be given barium sulfate and barium sulfide. How you distinguish them? You use chemical test. Now, there will be more, and I just added some more underneath. Okay, so original worksheets, you don't have such. Okay, I just added more. Barium sulfate and barium sulfide. 張家榮, you're late. Don't tell me that you just wake up.
有多半嚿啦，咁就。我話咁就有多半嚿。
Yeah， 係啦，唔使食咁多，半嚿得㗎啦。又係啦，你見唔見到我真係有點要點名嘅哥哥。I went to wrong classroom. Believe it or not. Okay, 張家榮 question 24. I try to give you some warm up. Okay, that will be more challenging. I must tell. 開始難啦呢度。What a Form 1 response, okay? I went to wrong classroom. Chemical test to distinguish between barium sulfate and sulfide. John Kevin, tell me your thoughts. Barium sulfate and barium sulfide. How? Now, something about that two substances, right? It's not water soluble. It's not water soluble. Okay, so add how much? Acidify K2SO7. To the what? First of all, a few drops of, okay? So this is what you should be highly aware in the written. After doing the QA practice yesterday, you should know it. A few drops of acidified potassium dichromate solution to the what? To the solid sample only. Why? Because we cannot have any solution for that two. That two chemicals are water insoluble. So what is the observation? What is the expected observations?
The one which is the one which changes the color of potassium dichromate from orange to green is barium sulfite, while the one which produces no observable change is barium sulfate.
Yeah. So what is mean by no observable change in terms of color? No color.
The color remains orange.
Color remains orange. Remains orange is barium sulfate. So this is one of them. And now, Zhang, you just omitted the other one is for sulfate. You have to tell me the observation for sulfate as well in order to score that full. Okay, questions? Now, next is Chen Wang. Are you here? Chemical test to distinguish between sodium sodium hypochlorite and aqueous sulfur dioxide. What is that? How you make the difference between that? What are the chemical properties of those two? And what are the differences between them? And this one I'm marking as solution, such that you know how to distinguish. First of all, they are just solution. Any idea? Yeah, I can see something here. Add dilute HCl to the solution. Okay, add dilute hydrochloric acid to the sample solutions respectively. So what will happen? pH paper. Pulonji, if you want to talk about pH paper, you need to give some elaboration. Please insert a piece of moist blue litmus paper. What is that? Bleach near the mouth of the test tube. Okay. Insert. Place a piece of moist blue litmus paper near the mouth of the test tube. So what will happen? Which will bleach the litmus paper into white? Which one? Which one? Hypochlorite. Agree? The answer is both. Both will bleach the blue litmus paper to white. Do you know why?
Because sulfur dioxide could oxidize the dyes and it would still bleach it white.
Oxidize. Sulfur dioxide bleaches by oxidation.
Oh wait, it should be reduction.
Yeah. So this is both they will turn. First of all, both of them, it's chlorine gas and sulfur dioxide gas. They are acid gas. So to tell me the first observation is the turning the blue litmus paper red.
Red and then white.
Yeah. So you need to be very. You should show the others that you are very highly observant while you say so. But and then white, right? And then bleach. But the speed is different. Okay. Rapidly bleaches the paper is sodium hypochlorite solution, while the other one, which gradually bleaches the paper, is just sulfur dioxide solution. So what are the equation involved? Anyone who can write down the equation for that too? We've got the equation for the bleaching. Even though somebody say that it's out of syllabus, but once you say it, you should know some of it. How to express it in equation. how to write down an equation. Oh, sorry. How come? My pen doesn't work. How come? What's the point of having? Sorry, and I need to close and open it again. Sorry about that. I just want to make sure that my pen works. So I will just open it again. Yeah, the other one. That's the equation. OCl minus plus dye to form what? Oxidized form of dye. No reversible sign. Okay, no reversible sign because that action is somewhat permanent. It's a permanent bleaching action. Okay, and chloride, and what's next is the SO2, the equation for SO2. Now this one is the oxidation. Right? The dye is oxidized. It's oxidized. So hypochlorite bleaches by oxidation. How about SO2? Anyone who know? Now, the one you should master this while you do the past paper inside level. Now you should know this. How? That is sulfate, reduced form of dye. Yeah, so I would that is not covalent bond. That means minus O. So you which means the reduced form of dye. Okay, reduced form of dye. Yes, that is one of the possible answer. You use sulfite ion to react with the dye. Okay, to form dye minus O, which means the reduced form of dye. SO3 2 minus plus dye to form. Chen Lu Hei, you better use another color pen instead of orange or a little bit yellow, right? Why you always use that color? As yellow as what you wore yesterday. So bright. Not beautiful at all, especially when you are a little bit, well, too eye-catching. So it depends. Yeah, it depends or not you are good looking. So, and this is the one. And you may find for this part, it is the reduced form of dye. Reduced form of dye. Okay, and sulfite ion, you find in an aqueous sulfur dioxide bleaches by reduction. So this is what I would like to remind all of you: SO2 plus H2O to form sulfurous acid, and you may know I can turn to this or even this. So you may find sulfide ion here. Okay, is that clear? No? So thank you. Question 26, more difficult. Chemical test to distinguish between chlorine bleach and chlorine water. As said, you are in Chem 2 students. I try to add some more challenging. Chlorine bleach and chlorine water. How to distinguish? Yeah, I think, but I've just taught you for 3 years, and all of a sudden many of you forgot something. Now, for example, you better ask you better ask Chen Hey about the acidification of silver nitrate solution. Just ask him what acid should be added. Take a look on Marcus' answer. One has hypochlorite ion, one has chloride ion. Do you know why I still keep on asking this type of questions, Punoji? I keep on asking that questions, so many interesting answers come. Now, first of all, misconception. Number one, for Marcus Bach, one has hypochlorite ion, the other one will have chloride ion. So the answer is not correct. Okay, what you suggested is not correct. It brings to our concern about, yes, that's right, it is ionizes in water to form we have got a type of reaction to form what? Chlorine water. So the chemical component inside is different. Chlorine water, which means chlorine plus H2O. Okay, to form what? The acid. Okay, and we've got the chemical. We call it hypochlorous acid, 次氯酸. So this is what you would usually heard of while while people buy a kit, right, to produce hypochlorous acid. And it claims that this one will have a better disinfecting effect when you compare with some other commonly used chemicals, while in terms of COVID-19. But actually, the kit is just electrolysis of salt water, in which that kit you can produce it by your own at home, DIY. And how about the other one, chlorine bleach? What is that? Plus dilute HCl. Can you elaborate more on that? Why we've got that? What's chlorine bleach? It's chlorine bleach. In that, it is a mixture of several things. It is chlorine, NaOH, NaCl, NaOCl, and what? H2O. okay, with the formula. We've got 2 here, right? So the production of chlorine bleach is based on this equation. How to distinguish between them? Let's just test for the sodium. Chemical test. How? Now, Peng Gaho suggests adding HCl, and then what happened to it? What happened to it? Chlorine bleach yellows, gives out yellowish green gas, and turns the moist, you mean the moist blue litmus paper, to red and the white? Agree? Which part, which chlorine bleach will have this? How about chlorine water? Would they give out chlorine gas as well? Take a look, equilibrium. Equilibrium, right? So if I add acid to it, so it will shift the equilibrium to the left-hand side to produce chlorine gas. So you can also produce chlorine gas. So how to make a chemical test between that? How about adding Ki and then organic solvent? Can you elaborate more? Ki.
I think at the Ki solution will turn from colorless to yellow, while for the chlorine bleach, while the potassium iodide solution does not have observable change for chlorine water. We add and then we add organic solvent to both sample. The one which turns to purple is for chlorine bleach, while the organic solvent turns to yellow for chlorine water.
So you want to talk about the red dots, right? You want to mention something about red dots. Take a look on that 2 chemicals. Do they have any oxidizing agent that will react with iodide to form iodine? The answer is yes. But both solution, they will have oxidizing agent, which would oxidize iodide to form iodine. Punati, you just say that I have taught you before, so you should give me your answer correctly.
Well, the first method is to test for the presence of sodium sodium ion. So we can do a flame test for that. And the second method is to use a pH paper because chlorine water is acidic, and chlorine bleach is alkaline in nature.
So what should be expected observation?
So when you add the pH paper into the chlorine water, at first it'll turn red, but soon after it'll be bleached. However, in the case of chlorine bleach, it'll turn blue and then be bleached again.
Correct. But correct is about the observation, but not correct is about the procedure. you just I just tell the same thing as Leighton yesterday. Okay, never put that piece of paper into the solution. Now remember, you try to to obtain a sample and put it into that. So you are going to do it in reverse. Otherwise, your solution, the whole solution, will be contaminated, and no one can tell you whether or not there will be some dissolution of the dye, right, from the paper to the solution. Okay, so it's a little bit risky. Yes, that's right. But when you want to concern, both methods will also be you can distinguish them. But take a look on the chemical test. So sorry, flame test cannot. Okay, flame test cannot be used in this case if you're just asked about the chemical test. So you use what? Yep, you use pH paper as a start. You may drop. Now this is one of the possible answer, right? You may drop a few drops of sample solution onto a piece of pH paper. pH paper better because you know that one of them turns to it turns to red, the other one turns to blue. Okay, try by not using this one. pH paper is a better choice. While the one which turns the pH paper to blue, and then bleach, and the white is the chlorine bleach. Why? Because chlorine bleach is alkaline, but at the same time it has a bleaching effect. While the one which turns the pH paper to red and then white is chlorine water. Why? Because chlorine water is also a bleaching agent, but the solution is acidic. Okay, it's acidic. So why? You should support your idea by telling this equation as well to tell you it is alkaline. How? Hypochlorite ion plus water to form one. Hypochlorite acid plus hydroxide. So it is alkaline. So it will help you explain why it is blue and red, right? If you want to mention something about the bleaching action, right, you should use this one. So both chlorine water and chlorine bleach will share the same equation here. Hypochlorite ion and hypochlorite ion here. Okay? Is that clear? It's about 26. Any questions? But it seems that so early in the morning, you may find the questions very challenging. Here comes the next one. The chemical test to distinguish between window cleanser and kitchen drainage pipe cleanser. Now from 27 to 31, all those they are, I just found it at home, right? The examples. So you should know what that is. Yes, what are they? They are basic elements of learning chemistry. Chemistry always are related to daily life. 同家好. It is within the syllabus. It's not outside. Yeah. So there are very many types, but what is just mentioned now is just a traditional window cleanser. Nowadays, the current window cleanser doesn't have that active ingredient. But according to the ESE exam, very often they just mention that they're still there. Yeah. So kitchen drainage pipe cleanser, is it an acidic or alkaline? So this is what you are going to know. So you are going to clean either using, if you are considering the purpose of clear away those oil blockage, you use alkaline. Now we have got two. The one we call it 非鱼牌通渠水. Now even though it's claimed to can be used to clean the kitchen pipe, okay, you use it mainly for emulsifying the grease. Yeah. If you are going to use it to clean the kitchen drainage pipe, it aims to emulsify the oil. It's not destroy grease. Marcus Lamb. The use of chemistry terms, please, not destroy. Emulsify, you are going to emulsify the oil, and such that it can be flushed away so easily. So you use the 非鱼牌 is not, okay, it's not that. Caustic soda with ammonium compound and aluminum compound. Now, so which one are you talking about? So no matter which one, you should give me your definition about what drainage pipe cleaner you are going to have. Okay? Yes, there are so many different types. Agree. So that is our purpose. Is to let you know that there are different types of drainage pipe cleanser. And each of them, they serve a little bit different purposes. The names so clean different types of to deal with different types of blockage. Okay, so in generally speaking, we've got two types. One is acidic, one is alkaline. Okay, but you talk about the chemicals in details. We have got different brands that will give you different types of things. Okay, so how you distinguish them between them? Now, one is ammonia containing. The other one is they did not mention anything. So try to make a different definition. Now, for it is a solution or liquid light is likely to be actually it can also be alkaline. Actually, it can also be alkaline. It depends on which type you are having. For example, you have got 通渠佬. 通渠佬 is alkaline. 通渠佬 is alkaline, but you find exquisite is also a liquid. Okay, weak alkaline, strong alkaline. Yeah, just continue. Let us try to put it like this way. For example, if you want to talk about NaOH and ammonia, how would you make a difference between them? I'll try to solve it one by one. If it's just 非鱼牌, it's easy to compare. Paper is easy. How will you know that it's easy? Even though I put a piece of paper and you can tell, right? Try to spray some drainage pipe cleanser onto the piece of paper and you can see the difference. For window cleanser, what happened to it? Nothing changed. It's just moistened. How about the 非鱼牌 drainage pipe cleanser?
It just eats through the paper.
Right, yeah, we've got some hole on that. It's because of dehydrating property of that acid. It's called sulfur acid. So, but how can you make a difference between them, the two? The concentration not given. So how will you make a difference between them? How? Now, remember, you need to take a look at the word chemical test. No. No idea from all of you. Anyone who have contribution on this part?
Reacted with iron, copper sulfate. So in excess. So if the solution is sodium hydroxide, it will form a light blue precipitate, but it will not dissolve in excess. However, if it's ammonia, it will first form a light blue precipitate, but it will form a deep blue solution in excess.
Now, theoretically you can, but if you get to know the real concentration of window cleanser, the concentration of ammonia is not so high as we expect to make a complex formation so easily. But I will also accept your answer. Okay, I will also accept answer. In practical sense, the window cleanser, the ammonia content is very low. I must tell. So yes, that's right. You may use copper 2 sulfate solution and try to add the sample to the copper 2 sulfate. What happened? Add the sample to the copper 2 sulfate dropwise until excess and try to observe what is the difference. Okay, so the both will turns the above 4 any of which is of high concentration. Okay, the solution both will form a pale blue precipitate, which is what is copper to hydroxide. Okay, that's the one which in which the PPT redissolves in excess window cleanser is but it's not just redissolved to form the deep blue solution is the window cleanser. Okay, in excess the chemicals is the window cleanser. So while the other one in which the PPT remains in excess chemical is the kitchen drainage pipe cleanser. Now take a look on Zhang Gaowen's suggestions. Can dilute both samples 10 times water and check the pH change?
But is that a chemical test? Or is that
if you want to talk about distinguish, theoretically you can, but it does not fulfill for the requirement of the term chemical test. Or this is also is possible for this work. Okay, and you may think of some other thing like warming the two chemicals and then to release the gas. So for ammonia solution, the ammonia gas will be released. So you may further test chemically for the presence of ammonia. You can also think it like this way. With what? For example, with corn HCl. It is also a type of chemical test. You understand? So there are various ways for you to chemically distinguish between the two. Is that clear? Got it? Got it? Any more questions? How about 28? Chemical test to distinguish soda lime and baking soda. It'll be more challenging. 蕭俊興 baking soda and soda lime. How to distinguish that? What are they in common? We have got the word soda. Answer, where are you? I believe they are sodium hydrogen carbonate and sodium carbonate. I don't know which is which. Baking soda is sodium hydrogen carbonate. So how about soda lime? You just mentioned something about baking soda is sodium bicarbonate. Okay, so what is sodium bicarbonate? In chemical name, which is what we call it. It's just common name. You know what does bicarbonate means? Which means what? Hydrogen carbonate. Yeah, sodium hydrogen carbonate. All right. So how we distinguish between that? Soda lime, baking soda. How about soda lime? What is that? You just search in the web and you can find it very easily. Soda lime. What is the use of soda lime? In biology, right? You may have heard of this term very often, right? What is that? It's a mixture, right? Good. It's a mixture of alkali, sodium hydroxide and calcium hydroxide. In name of what? So what is the function of that? Yeah, moisture. Or what? What else? Absorb moisture as well as absorb what? CO2. Yeah, that's right. So how you distinguish them? Yeah, good. Once you would know the chemicals inside, you can get the answer. So you may add some dilute acid to it. Check for what? Yeah, baking soda, right? It's no color, no colors, no gas bubbles. Right? It's a soda, lime. Is one way. You may think of more. Right? You may think of more. How about 29? For those who love to make some cake for your girlfriend in preparation of Christmas, you should know it. The difference between baking soda and baking powder. You may think it like this way, Mr. Chin, why not buying one instead of asking me to do such? Zhang Gaowen, you should know. What is mean by baking soda? What is mean by baking powder? It'll be highly challenging, right? While in today's task. A mixture of carbonate and bicarbonate and a weak acid is said. What is which? Hydrochloric acid. It's the old one, right? Is it? Is that? What is the difference between them? Yep, the similar logic, right? First of all, you need to find out the difference between them in terms of chemical component. The baking powder is what? It's mainly sodium hydrogen carbonate, or somebody may find it as sodium carbonate plus some acid. While the acid it is in solid powdery form. Okay. So how you make a difference between them? It's simply what? Water. Do you know why? Do you know why? Now we have got the chemicals inside that would help react. So for baking soda, what happened to baking soda? Just dissolves. But for baking powder,
Colorless gas bubbles evolve.
yeah, effervescence. Okay. It dissolves and effervescence, right? Can you get my point? So this is what's it's a funny way to distinguish between them two, and it is something about the baking technique of adding that too. For those who are going to prepare something for the Christmas, but with someone else, right? You better take into this too, but in those web page. We'll have two more to go. The second last chemical test to be distinguished between caustic soda and soda ash. What is that, Mr. Chin?
So that's all I know. Caustic soda is like sodium hydroxide. That's all I know.
Soda ash. What is that? What is that?
That's what you get after you burn sodium hydroxide. You just get ash.
What is that soda ash? Soda ash, what is that? What is that? Tell me. What are the chemical names inside? sodium carbonate. So the way to produce is different, right? So how will you make a difference between them? So simply, right, I add X to it. You may use X to it. Add dilute HCl to the sample. And you may have got that too. So yeah, again, effervescence for that, and caustic soda we have got what? Just dissolves. So if you want to make it something more, actually, if you want to talk about the observation for caustic soda, besides it dissolve, large amount of it is given out. Okay, so this is what you need to be highly observant while you do such. Okay, last question. Mineral water and distilled water, easy. Price, chemical test. Stop solution. Please elaborate. Solution 8. Yep, they will form scum, somewhat white precipitate. While for the still water, it remains clear. Why? Why is it scum? Can you write down the equation for scum formation? What is that? Tell me the chemical inside soap. What is that? Is it in form of RCOO minus plus calcium ion or magnesium ion? So what will they form? They will form a chemical, we call it RCO minus, bracket 2 Mg, 2 plus, or RCOO minus, bracket 2 calcium ion, and it is somewhat in not soluble in water. So we'll call that scum. How you find it about how to distinguish the chemicals today? It's funny, very, very funny, especially while you're in the in HKCE or also in DSE. You may have a chance to be asked about the chemistry and daily life, and you need to be highly aware of the chemical component inside those names. Mineral water, distilled water, caustic soda, and baking soda, soda lime, etc. Right? And those chemicals, they are commonly, the names of it, they are commonly seen in your in the. It's even harder. Yep. Why not? Or even in your DSE. So between what, it depends on you, right? To put that to, and this is what I leave you as the answer today, the task, the final task today. if you really want to check your level of understanding, right? You better pick that tool, any tool, and you just keep on asking yourself. At this spot, I would love to leave you question 32, Marcus. Okay? How you feel about today's lecture? About how me on this level of understanding today? Highly challenging, I'm still today. At least you need to know the chemical inside. 7.7.5777. Nice. Now it seems Shanghai has fallen asleep again. How about Su Junhei? Just 5. Yeah, it's difficult in terms of getting to know the real chemical name of those commercial products. Added to the level of difficulty, we've got two levels. First level is to let you know what the chemicals found inside. Second, before that, you know the chemical inside, and then you may know it. Okay, that's fine. Okay, and I would like to see you guys. For those students, you need to come back. Okay, please come back at 2:30. Susan, hey, you're so free. You should be okay to come back. It seems like you're Joe. You feel very, very fine, right? You should come back. Or sick. But your D's and words doesn't match. All right, see you. Bye-bye.